Hola, hi, hello, and welcome everybody to Krystal Light Tarot. I'm Krystal Light, and I'm so delighted that you're here with me today, my friends. So, today we are going to do a review, flip through, let's talk about chat, whatever you want to call it. I am showcasing the Cozy Witch Tarot deck today, brought to us by Amanda Lovelace as the author, artwork by Janaina Medeiros, and published through Andrews McMeel Publishing. I previously did a review for Amanda Lovelace's Oracle deck, the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck. So this is all in anticipation of Amanda Lovelace's latest Oracle deck drop, The Chubby Witch's Night In, a 44 card Oracle deck and guidebook. So I can't wait for it. So I figured, why not review all of her decks? They're awesome. They're amazing. I mean, I guess spoiler alert, I love them all, but let's see why. All right. All right, my friends. So here we go. We have this little box here. Ooh, let's not break stuff. All right. So here we have our nice little guidebook. So here goes the back of the cards. So if you follow me, you know that I love a good back to a card deck. I'm more of a spring summer gal, but I'll be damned if this deck isn't converting me to appreciate all things fall and cozy with the backs they have illustrated here. Good job, Amanda. I love the representation of the elements, especially our little coffee cups that we all know are most likely filled to the brim with pumpkin spice lattes. Okay, I caught that. The warm color palette feels like a soft, fuzzy blanket you can't wait to curl up with. The illustrations and textures of the back of this deck perfectly sets the mood for reading with these cards. So let's look at the guidebook. I'll just make a little space here, a little room. Excuse me, excuse me. Okay. So here we go. This is the Cozy Witch Tarot deck. This is the guidebook. Color on the outside. I love some gold. I will say that. I love me some gold. Again, we have illustrated guidebook, just no color. That's fine. Okay. Welcome, witches. Okay, so we have her little introduction here. She was a little nervous to work on a deck. She said she talks about how she was more comfortable with making the Oracle deck because it was actually, and I didn't know this, it was actually based off of her book of poetries. So I need to now get said books. I have the coloring book, which is, oh, I have the coloring book that's based off of this. Let me go ahead and bring that out. Hold on. Okay, so here we go. There is an actual coloring book that goes along with this deck. How cute. Get cute. I haven't colored anything in because I'm one of those people. Are you guys like this? You have to let me know down in the comments. Like you get something new and it's so awesome that you don't want to mess it up. So I kind of want to get a second one so I can have this one that's pristine and then have one that I actually kind of mess up. In case I mess it up, I won't be totally upset. But I mean, I guess that's life, right? You mess up, you cover it up. If you first you don't succeed, try and try again. Right? So yeah, and it gives you insight. But you know what? We'll take a look at the book. I haven't noticed yet. Let's see if it gives the same information or if this is like more in depth. And this is great. If you're really looking to further your knowledge of tarot, to color it in, maybe this forces you to really look at the details in here, right? And when you color it, you really ask yourself, why am I using this color? Why am I coloring so hard? Why am I coloring lighter? Why am I using this palette? All that kind of stuff, right? So that's awesome. That was clever. So, Cozy Witch Basics. So let's see. She gives you the structure. This tarot deck, like most tarot decks, has a total of 78 cards, which are split into two distinctive parts known as the major arcana and the minor arcana. So, yeah, we have this. She explains your major arcana. And even I love even more so if you kind of just want to kind of get the gist of it, or she highlights like the most important parts. So, major arcana, boom, big life defining stuff. Part two, minor arcana, smaller everyday happenings, which is basically what it is. So you could either really read the nitty gritty, or she kind of gives you the one liners that go along with it. Cups, water, feelings, intuition, and relationships. Boom. Pentacles, earth, finances, nature, well being. Swords, thoughts, air, it's air sign, thoughts, logic, and communication. Wands, fire sign, passion, energy, and creativity. Boom. Or maybe you do know the basics. You just need to run back like, hey, wait a minute, what element was the swords? Oh yeah, that's air. Next, keep it moving. So I think this is really beneficial for our other newbies. I mean, I still consider myself a newbie, but still, for if you're brand new to it, I keep on, when I do these reviews, I keep on picturing, that middle schooler that's, venturing into their local either metaphysical shop and looking at the books, or local bookshop, and stumbling upon tarot and feeling a connection to it and starting to get interested. Now, buying that deck and taking it home and really reading their guidebooks every word. Because I remember, I still have it. I remember back in the 1990s, I bought this little, I asked my mother actually, because this is how young I was. Yeah, I must have been in middle school. You go to the checkout line. Well, I don't know. Things have changed so much. I don't know. Just people still go to checkout lines, or they just, do it through their phones. Anyway, I was on the checkout line, and they have all the magazines there, and there was this little book there. It was a horoscope book. I asked my mom to buy it for me. It was no more than 2.95. I still have that book today because I felt like it was so on point. And when I tell you, I read that book front to back, and I still to this day, whenever I meet somebody or somebody's telling me about any issues they're having in a relationship, I go back to this book and I'm like, wait, I think this book kind of has that, because it broke down deacons. It explained that to me. It explained, your horoscope, it, um, your person in love, in work, in relationships, in this, in that. It was just so I'm picturing somebody really getting this guidebook. The way I see it so far, I can see some kid really reading this forwards to backwards, and this having a lot of the meat and potatoes of what they need. So let's see. So I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but I really do. So far, I like how she has this structured. Like I mentioned in the oracle, she doesn't use capital letters for the beginnings of sentences. Okay, I don't know what that's about, but I'd love to meet her and ask her. These are one of those questions. Reversals, she does include that. She doesn't include it in her oracle deck, so that's interesting that she chose to include reversals. Okay, so key phrases. So in the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck, she did have the card name and then a little phrase. Oh, this one. Oh no, I did this backwards. So I'll turn this over. And you see here, she has the cozy witch, and then she has a key phrase. Take a chance, for each morning is a new beginning. So using the cozy witch. So she tells you how to prepare your deck, which means like, cleansing it. She provides methods of cleansing it with sound, smoke, knocking, crystal magic, reorganizing. This, I don't know why I do this. I even do this when I'm bored. Like, I swear my decks call to me. So all of a sudden I'll hear like my mermaid deck and say, hey, organize me. You haven't used me in a while. Organize me and then reshuffle me and then use me. And that's what I'll do. So I think this is what this is. This is a good one. This is a good one to do after you've been using your deck consistently for a while. Go through your deck and put all the cards back in order, starting with your major arcana and moving through each minor arcana suit. Ta-da! Cleanse. After you can shuffle it back up and read as you would normally. So I know for me, cleansing, I normally put them with selenite crystal for 24 hours. Well, no, I organize them and then put them with a selenite crystal for 24 hours. Or I will individually, I will do a smoke. I'll have incense burning and I'll really look at each one and cleanse it under the smoke. So like that, if I don't want to wait 24 hours, that's what I'll do. So yeah, she does that. Get nice and cozy. Then she kind of tells you how to get in the mood and prepare, mentally and physically. Then she has the deck interview spread. I love love when the guidebook has a deck interview spread. That's, man, top notch. So, for anyone that doesn't know what a deck interview spread is, let's see what she says here. Okay, so I know you're excited to start reading, but first, you should go on a coffee date with your deck. This has the potential to be a lifelong relationship, after all. So it's best to eh, ask your deck some deep questions to see how compatible you are. So it's you just getting to know the deck. So the questions she has here listed are: describe yourself as a deck. What is your greatest strength? What is your biggest vulnerability? What's a surprising fact about you? Where do you see this partnership going? Describe how you see me as a practitioner. And what's your first piece of advice for me? That's fantastic. I personally still am still on a journey to find the perfect questions for me. Every one of these, decks that has these has different questions. So I'm in the process of kind of taking my favorites and least favorites out of this. Or just learning how to understand certain questions. Like for me, where do you see this partnership going? That's an interesting one. I have to dig a little deeper for that. So here we go. She has some gentle tips and suggestions. Like, first, manage your expectations, keep a tarot diary, trust your intuition, bond with your deck. Crystals help, but they're optional. Ask, then pull, avoid yes or no questions, and so on. Let's see. And then she goes on to different spreads. That's awesome. Don't want to give away too much. You still have to buy this. I totally think you should support the artist. Yeah, Cozy Night In spread, which is probably the inspiration for the Chubby Witches Cozy Night In. And then we have it broke down: the major arcana cards in order, and then our minor arcana cards. And then at the beginning of each suit, she breaks it down again: your element, your keywords. Right. So let's see. Wands. Anything else? And then we have our special acknowledgments after the last one. Is it the wands? Oh, let me see if she does it like how I do it. Yes. So she organizes it. Oh, I love that. So I organize my decks. I do, I separate all my cards between the major arcana, and then I have the four suits, and it's always cups, pentacles, swords, wands. It's alphabetical order. That's how I do it. The wands are at the end, cups are at the beginning, with major arcana on top. So that's how I have this deck organized. And that's how she has it. Because for me, it just makes sense. And now I know I can go in her book and I can, if I flip through like, oh, pentacles, I need the cups. I know I've got to go forward. Wands, I got to go backwards. With when I have to remember how other people organize them, you know, it's a pain. But anyway, so she has some special acknowledgments and about the author and about the artist. All right, so that's our guidebook. I think this is beginner friendly as far as a guidebook. Well, you know what? Let me not get ahead of myself. At the end, I'll do a collective reading, and then we will definitely say whether this is beginner friendly. But so far, I think, a newbie, just stumbling upon tarot for the first time, it's got the bones to it. She kind of gives you the low down. There are other guidebooks. They don't do that much. They don't go. I don't know. Some guidebooks, I don't even know where they're coming from. Seems like just AI put them together before AI was even a thing. All right, so here we go. Going to do the flip through. Okay, let's begin with the Cozy Witch. Take a chance, for each morning is a new beginning. Oh, hold on. Let's see. Let's get a little closer, shall we? Get closer. I won't bite. Oh, why are you getting darker on me? Okay. The Magician. You have everything you need to do anything you want. And then let's see. What did it say on her button? Oh, man. Again, I can't with the little eyes. I'm in my 40s, folks. All right. It says something on the heart, and I can't see it because I'm older. All right. Well, you'll have to let me know down in the comments what it says. It's going to. I can't see it. All right. Let me know down in the comments. All right, moving on. The High Priestess. When in doubt, your first gut feeling can always be trusted. She's a divination witch. So here she has, these are actually the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck cards that she has on her bed. And why not? With some crystals and her cat. Okay, the Empress. There is beauty to be found in every experience. Oh, and here she has a sign of the time. She has her mask on. Beautiful. The Emperor. Being the authority of your own life comes with a lot of responsibility. I'm hearing in my head, heavy is the head that holds the crown. Right? What's here? Some type of compass. Oh, be your own moral compass. It's hard sometimes when you're the one, that has to make those decisions. I randomly got thought of a meme or some online thing on Instagram that I saw about, I was getting upset at the mom for not having dinner ready or figuring out you know, what was for dinner until I realized I'm the mom and I'm the one that has to figure out every night. Even, something as simple as that. It doesn't always have to be, the emperor doesn't have to be so heavy that it's always these big major burdens that are on your shoulders. Sometimes it's as simple as, shoot, I, not only have to hold down a job and, you know, keep healthy and do all the other things, I also have to figure out what my family's going to eat for the rest of the week. Anybody that has a family knows that that question is the most trivial question every day. What are we having for dinner? The Hierophant. Tradition is important, but it doesn't have to do everything. It doesn't have to be everything. The Lovers. Will you or won't you? The choice is yours. I love this because a lot of times I know some people will look at the Lovers and it's, you know, they only see it as a romantic relationship, but the Lovers is also about choice. And whenever I choose or I look at tarot decks, I look for the Lovers card and I look to see if they make that distinction, right? To me, that's kind of what makes a good tarot deck. If they make that distinction and don't just tell you it's this one thing. The Chariot. You'll never get anywhere if you keep standing still. Awesome. The Snail. We see the snail in the Nine of Cups. No, Nine of Pentacles. I wonder if he's there too. But this is interesting. I like that. 8. Strength. It takes great strength to be soft. 9. The Hermit. There are some things that must be done on your own. Solitary Witch on her hoodie there. I feel that. 10. Good luck charm. If nothing seems to be going your way, cast a spell. So that's like the Wheel of Fortune. So that's like luck. Yeah, good luck charm. Yeah, cast a spell and change the dynamics. Justice. Stick to your truth, and everything will turn out just fine. And I appreciate that there's a dog there because unfortunately, I'm not really a cat person like that. One, I'm allergic. Two, they frighten me a little bit. I mean, they're beautiful. However, I know in my family's past, they've talked about how they had a cat and it turned on them, like to the point where they had to set it free by catching it in like a pillowcase or something. So, yeah. So I appreciate that sometimes a witch's best friend can be a dog. 12. The Patient Witch. Learn to get comfortable with sitting still whenever necessary. This is interesting. I see that she has her hands crossed here. There are certain cards I will say, like in a deck, when I go through them, I'll be like, damn, I really can't wait to read why they chose to do that. So let's see how she explains things, because she was a little, I don't want to say short, but she didn't go on in the oracle deck, but it was fine. Like I got all the information I needed to. With tarot decks though, I feel like, or at least for me, I appreciate when they explain in depth, like why they chose, let's say the wallpaper, why they chose to have her have long hair versus short hair. Why are the clothes on the floor? Why are her arms crossed? That kind of thing. Why is there a cat? Why is there a dog? Blah, 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 blah. This color, that color. You get me? All right. So the broom. Tidy up your life so you can make space for something better. Time to declutter, some spring cleaning. Right now, we're going into the fall. Nothing wrong with some fall cleaning. I know I'm doing that with my daughter as she's getting back to school. I'm trying to get rid of everything, donate, or just toss some of the stuff that I don't know how the food doesn't get into her mouth and on her clothes, but anything. Anyway, just going out, and I'm getting her ready for back to school by just making everything, clean slate. Sometimes we need that. 14, temperance. Let go of self imposed limitations. Sometimes you really have to sit with yourself and ask yourself, who's really in my way the most? Is it me? 15, toxic witches. Be cautious of those who take more than they give. So this is our devil. Oh yeah, so let me see. Oh, okay, I just noticed that. Okay, so the broom is death, right? So yeah, everything, it's lived its life, it served its purpose, now it's time to go. So that's death. Let me see. Okay, the patient witch. All right, sorry, I'm going back now. The patient witch is our hanged man. Who else did we have? Good luck charm is the wheel of fortune. The hermit, she kept the same. Sorry, I'm just going back and seeing if there's any renaming because I didn't address that. My bad. I think the rest of them are the same. Okay, the rest are fine. Look, I told you I'm newbie to this, so just give me some time. Anyway, the tower remains the same. I love how they made this, like, um, what is this? A treehouse for kids, right? The tower. Get ready. Things are about to get shaken up. Maybe it was time to move on. Maybe you need to grow up. Maybe you're a little too grown to be in this treehouse. It can't support you anymore. I love that interpretation. Again, look, the lightning bolt. The For anybody that's been here before, my favorite card in a tarot deck is the Tower. So this is the one that I always look out for, and I really do appreciate this interpretation of the Tower. The Star. Have faith that healing is in the forecast. I love this sweater. Oh, last fall I had to get rid of so many of my cardigans and all my long sweaters. I miss them all. I had too many. They were taking up too much space in my closet, so my wife sat there and helped me try to part ways. I did give them new homes. I donated them, but oh, I love a good cozy sweater. 18, the moon. Taking time for deep reflection is essential. I like this. And there's another deck this reminds me of. Oh, it isn't coming to mind, but I like this. This is pretty. I love her haircut. 19, the sun. Give yourself permission to experience joy. Can you see that? Sorry if I'm out of frame. Just realized I might be. Judgment. All the signs say that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. I love this message because sometimes I wonder, like, did I fall behind? Did I make the right choice? Did I make the wrong choice? Did I make a left or I needed to make a right? And sometimes you just need that confirmation. I appreciate that. And rocking rough and tough in my Afro puffs. I like that. 21, the world. Yeah, you did it. Now do something to celebrate a job well done. Get 'em. Okay, now we're going on to our minor arcana, starting with the cups in alphabetical order. I love it. Yay. Ace of Cups. Do you feel that? Wait, do you feel that in your heart? That's potential, dear. Potion. So, what does this potion have in store for you? Eight of Cups, with this being a potion, it looks like she's mixing something. I'm seeing like your morning coffee when you go to work, and you kind of like, you first start off like dreading the week, right? But there's potential here. What can we do? Some people say like to stir your coffee with intention to have a great week or a great day. That's what I'm seeing here. Two of Cups. Some people are like pumpkin to your spice. I know how I said earlier, I'm more of a summer spring witch and not crazy about the cozy. So the one thing about with the cozy witch, I'm not a pumpkin spice person. So pumpkin spice isn't my thing, but I do love a good tea. I do love a good warm beverage on a nice cold day. Oh, nothing more comforting. So, Three of Cups, come together with your coven. And again, we have representation here. We have different backgrounds. We have different races. We have different abilities. I love it. I'm here for it. Four of Cups, try not to be so picky, okay? Oh, that's my wife. My wife's picky. Love her though, but she's picky. She knows it. Five of Cups, spilled tea isn't the end of the world. Again, we have more representation. Somebody here with vitiligo. We saw that in her oracle deck as well. Six of Cups. Give yourself the compassion you were never given. Give yourself the flowers. Aw. We have some seashells. We have the cups. Seven of Cups. Not every great option you're given will be a great option for you. If your life feels stale, explore some new scenery. Eight of Cups. Yeah, maybe go on a little vacation. Maybe change it up. Unless you're thinking of moving, maybe that's the card for that. Nine of Cups. Live in a constant state of gratitude. This is what I'm learning to do, and I feel it's helped me a lot. Things could always be worse, or even if everything feels fine, but you feel like just things aren't enough. Yes, if you're living and breathing, yes, it is enough. Ten of Cups. Okay, but sometimes it really is all about rainbows and smiles. Appreciate the little things. Ooh, and I love how the mama here, I'm assuming the mama, but the woman here has her tiger stripes here, right? The stretch marks. We saw that in the oracle. And I can relate to this so much because you know what? Sometimes life is a struggle. And I know when I'm overwhelmed, though, I'm just like, you know what? Let me just take my family out and just be present and be there with them because this is what it's all about. And some people don't have it and wish that they did. And I have it, and I'm so rich for that. Page of Cups. Let yourself be continually surprised by this thing called life. Knight of Cups. Romanticize the present moment every chance you get. Yep. Is she making a bracelet? Is she just finding stuff on the beach? That's awesome. Yeah, I love doing that. And a seahorse. I love seahorses. So we have a sea witch. Yes, girl. This is my spirit sister here. Queen of Cups. Honoring your emotions is one of the highest forms of self care. Feel the feels. Oh, man. Yeah, sometimes, even as, you grow up and you're not allowed to feel all your feelings, and you know what? You got to practice that. Sometimes you have to learn it is okay to feel your emotions. Don't let them overwhelm you, just with anything. It's all about keeping things in balance, right? King of Cups. Always compose yourself before giving a response. Take a breath before responding. So here we see, I don't think we have, so as we had what the king, the knight, this is an all female deck. Feminine energy here, but we could still have some masculine energies, right? Ace of Pentacles. Wow, what an abundant opportunity. This is beautiful. Two of Pentacles. When life gets chaotic, find a way to get grounded and balanced. So look, so we have the star. We have the water of something from the water out of the shell, right? And something from earth. I like how she did that. Something physical, but from the water. Yeah, I like that. Three of Pentacles. What's the saying? Teamwork makes the spell work. Yeah, get together with friends, make that spell work. Four of Pentacles. Treat yourself to something shiny every now and again. And by shiny for me means a new deck. Five of Pentacles. Nothing is ever as hopeless as it seems. There is a safe haven. Six of Pentacles. Every blessing you give will eventually be returned to you. Seven of Pentacles. Nurture what you have and see how it grows and grows. Eight of Pentacles. Sorry, but fairies aren't going to come do all the work for you. You got to put in that work, put your back into it. Nine of Pentacles. Pause and savor the results of your success. This is beautiful. I like this. And we have somebody older here. I love that. Some more representation. 10 of Pentacles. Having it all looks different to everyone. Right. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. For me, having it all is being able to work a decent amount of hours during the day, get home to be able to enjoy some social time with my family, have dinner, nighttime routine. I love even just when my daughter just asked me, Mommy, can you clean my ears? I love that. That's fine with me. And but for other people, and it's fine, it's other things. It's the money, uh, being socially connected, moving upwards in social class, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's different for everyone. And here, I'm assuming this is like the cat lady, but if that's what's happy, if she's happy with, that's fine. Page of Pentacles. When life gives you lemons, make enchanted lemonade. Knight of Pentacles. Slowly but surely, you're going places. Queen of Pentacles. There's no need to sacrifice. You can have it all. The witch is in. King of Pentacles. True success isn't just about money, it's about happiness too. Thanks for supporting your local witches. Ace of Swords. Look at you. You're bursting with sparkling new ideas. Two of Swords. Wake up. What is that you truly want? Two of Swords to me is always seems like a high priestess card. Three of Swords. It's okay to cry. I'm just coming from the library. Four of Swords. So why aren't you resting? I love how just nonchalant and really down to earth these cards are. I love the sayings. Five of Swords. Oh, and again, some inclusivity here with different religions. Five of Swords. You can't be right all of the time. Five of Swords. I wonder why they included a Dalmatian. Maybe because things aren't always black and white. Oh, maybe. And if they are, yeah, that's interesting. Six of Wands. All aboard, witch. It's time to write a new chapter. Six of Swords. Yep. Pack your stuff and let's go. Seven of Swords. Are your actions really as selfless as you think? Seven of Swords. Yeah, I don't know. Nah, I'm killing the spider. If I can even muster up the courage, because that's a thing. Eight of Swords. Stop overthinking it and just do it. Yeah. Sometimes you really just have to do it. And you see all the swords there in her hat because she's overthinking all the sword. Yeah, all the Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords. We all get a bit carried away with our worries sometimes. So here goes. This is another card I always look for in a deck, the Nine of Swords, because this was my. I guess I call it the. This was the card that lifted the rosy club. I don't know. They just lifted the veil, I guess, for me. This is the card that lifted the veil that opened up my mind to tarot. So I'll always understand this one. And I can so relate because this is so me at 3 o'clock in the morning. Ten of Swords. Hurt people, and hurt witches, hurt witches. Page of Swords. Curiosity is a type of magic. Knight of Swords. Be ambitious. Chase your every dream. Book blogger. Nice. Queen of Swords. Don't you dare lower your voice for anyone. Book club. All right, so she's got opinions about their latest read. She's going to read everybody in that room. All right. King of Swords. We can all learn important things from one another. And finally, we're down to the Ace of Wands. Don't you see how your passion makes you glow? Two of Wands. Your decisions decide your future here, nothing else. Three of Wands. Put yourself out there and you'll be rewarded one way or another. Four of Wands. Family is whoever makes you feel the most safe and comfortable being you. A place to hang your witch hat. That's cute. Aw. Five of Wands. A good coven lets every witch have a say. I like that. And they have different, looks like different ages. We're at the end of the day, we're all witches and we all have a say. Everybody should be heard. Six of Wands. You're kind of a big deal, so start acting like it. Yes, empowerment. Seven of Wands. Witches should hold other witches accountable. This is the same one. No, it's not the same one, but this is a different take on the Seven of Wands. This is interesting. This is a card I definitely want to read because this is a different take. Usually, this person here is fighting back. This one's really taking it. That's an interesting take, Amanda. It's an interesting take on it. Eight of Wands. Light a fire underneath your cauldron and go, go, go. Yes, that's usually the Eight of Wands coming in hot and heavy, fast and quick. Nine of Wands. It would take a hell of a lot more to defeat you. Usually our wounded warrior. She's going through some things, has some bandages on her arms. Ten of Wands. Why make things so much more difficult than they need to be? Bless the Samhain, which is like, why didn't you call your friends? Why didn't you bring a bag? Is she carrying that pumpkin too? Like, did we need to do all that? Page of Wands. Just because you're passionate about it doesn't mean it'll be effortless. You're going to have to put in some work with the Wands. Knight of Wands. Sometimes you have to be willing to bend the rules a little. Ooh, where you sneaking up to? You sly fox. I see that. That's cute. I like that. Knight of Wands. Bend the rules, but why are you sneaking out? I'm interested. What's going on there? What's that story? I want that tea. Why are you sneaking out like you sneaking out of a dorm room? Queen of Wands. Replace your self-doubt with self-confidence. You know what? Ooh, Yeah, I love this. I feel like this is my motto. The times where I probably seem most confident are probably the times that I feel most self conscious, but you're never going to know, and I'm not going to let anybody know. Dang it. That's the Aries in me. I'll be damned if anybody realizes how self conscious I am about myself. And finally, the King of Wands. Shine your inner candlelight bright enough for others to follow. Come on home. I'm right here for you. We're going to do this thing. All right. So that's the deck. All right. So I'm dying to know, what do you think? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. All right. So let's see. As far as shuffling. All right. Here goes my little hand test. Oh, let me make this a little bigger because you are real close. All right. All right. My little hands. All right. I need this slightly smaller, guys. I can kind of hardly. I'm definitely not doing a bridge shuffle with my little hands. Sorry. So we're going to do from the side. And we're good. I hope it isn't too loud when I put them down on here. It's loud here. All right. Spirit, thank you so much for bringing this deck my way, for allowing me to have the voice and the time to bring this to the collective. All right, real quick, I want to go through how it's not too hard, it's flexible. I just can't get my little hands around it. So, Spirit, I want to pull a card, give the collective some insight on a situation, or just give them some information they need to know right now. All right, Spirit, come on. Let me get a message here. Please and thank you, Spirit. Overall, I really do love this book. Like I said, the only thing I don't connect with is the whole pumpkin latte thing, but I'll take a nice warm drink, some apple cider, some hot chocolate with some cinnamon while you're going to apple picking or pumpkin picking. I love it. Ooh, judgment. All the signs say that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Thank you, Spirit. All right, so let's see how this reads. All right, where's the book? Right here. Dang, and I flipped straight through it. So I think I needed to hear this message. Somebody out there definitely needs to hear it. So come on, Amanda, let's see what you got. All the signs say that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So, going about her day as usual, the witch catches something out of the corner of her eye. In her flower box, she finds a white feather, a sign she's began to associate with her spirit guides. Perhaps you too have been receiving signs that shouldn't be ignored. I'm just going to say, I have been seeing so many feathers around, and I'm like, is something going on with the birds? Do we need to be watching the birds? Because why am I seeing so many feathers? No matter where I go in my town, out of my town. I live in New York, so if I go into the boroughs, if I go into the suburbs, wherever I go, I'm seeing these feathers. I've never noticed feathers so much in my life. Anyway, yeah, but what does it mean? You might be asking, well, it can mean anything you want it to mean, but you may choose to take it as confirmation that your guides are around you now and offer you their unconditional love and support. Though it may not be clear to you now, your current ideas and actions are aligned with your soul's purpose. Less questioning, more trust. So the reversed, I appreciate that she includes the reversed. You feel an indescribably strong pull toward a certain path, but you could be a little apprehensive due to self doubt. So you're choosing to ignore it. You're feeling this pull for an important reason. So push the doubt aside and go find out why. Do the damn thing. All right. All right. So let's see. Let's do a quick summary before we end this all. I forget what we call this kind of box, but it's this kind of box. When you open it, it's not magnetized or anything. It's just a pop out box, or however you want to call it. The card stock is good card stock. I don't think it's going to bend easily, or, well, it's bendy, like it gives, but it's not going to get messed up easy. Uh, I can't really shuffle too well a regular bridge. I have to do from the side. It's not a pip deck, so that's awesome. Sorry, pip decks. If you prefer a pip deck, there are some good pip decks. I am definitely not a fan of just regular old pip decks, especially not for newbies. Does it have extra cards? No, it doesn't have extra cards. The strength and justice are as they should be. Strength is number 8, justice number 11. It is diverse, just no men. So if that is kind of off putting, I understand. I am not 100% a fan of all female decks. I am all about female empowerment, but sometimes I don't mind seeing the fellas in there. Even if they carry, I'd appreciate a deck even with a male with feminine energy. I'm good with that. The back of the card, it is pretty. Yeah, I like it and totally goes with the theme, so that's good. Let's see. As far as my favorite cards, the Tower, the Devil, and the Lovers. What did we get? What was it? The Tower. I said I already spoke about my Tower. The Devil. What was the Devil? Toxic Witches, aka the Devil. Yes, that was interesting. Yes, to think of the Devil as toxic witches because you can get out anytime. If they're toxic, sometimes you just have to realize, not every friend is a friend. It has the reversals. So let's see. What card sold it for me? Yeah, I think it was that. Oh, it's not going to be here. What was it? I think it was the Queen of Wands. Yes, and I'm a fire sign, so I'm totally with it. I hope it was the Queen of Wands. I think it was the Queen of Wands that sold it for me. Hold on, now that I know where the wands are because they're in alphabetical order. Yes, the Queen of Wands are her red dress. Yes. For me, I normally wear a gold dress. I will show up and show out. Like I literally can remember it walking in. Now I'm a bigger girl. That doesn't mean I'm not cute. I know I'm cute and I'm beautiful. But I know that there's gonna be some. I was at an event where I knew other women were gonna be there in their nice, beautiful gowns, beautiful tight dresses, tight and right in all the right places. But I remember showing up to an event in my this beautiful pink and gold dress, and so many people came up to me and asked me where I got the dress because they absolutely loved it. And that's a great feeling because as a bigger girl, especially growing up, you feel so ostracized, like going out partying. Matter of fact, while I'm doing this, I'll bring out this card. Going out and shopping with your friends that happen to be skinny and mini, like you can't shop with them. When I went to the mall with my friends, I went to the music store while they all went and shopped in these little shops where they're like, "Oh, plus we have 00. Like, can you go up to at least a 14?" The highest they went up to was a 12 because 14 was plus size. Meanwhile, that's like average 14 and 16. So, to go somewhere where you're supposed to be elegant, because I believe it was a wedding, but it was like a gown, you had to wear gowns and stuff. I was definitely in my head a little bit like, oh, how am I going to compare to all these women? They're going to have these beautiful dresses on, and I don't want to feel like I'm wearing a muumuu, right? Um, but to have people really come to me and ask me all night long, like, I'm sorry, I don't know you, but I love that dress. Where did you get it? I'd love to see it. I'd love to get it. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, this is what sold it for me. And her sunflowers, and she's doing it. And it reminds me of that emoji with the woman in the red dress dancing. I love dancing. So um so yeah, let's see. All right, so it has some borders, but it's not too bad. They're thinner borders, so you still get all of the visuals. It's beautiful. Can you tell reversals from the back? I don't think so. I think this is pretty symmetrical, so that's awesome. Are the major arcanas numbered? Let's see. Are they numbered? I think they are. I think they are. Yes, they are. They are here. Ah, yes. And sunflowers. So, yeah, folks. All right. So, that was my little summary and rundown, making sure I get the checklist of things that I look for and things that I think that most of you probably look for in a deck. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else that you'd like me to touch upon and further deck reviews, something that I'm not talking about, discussing, maybe I don't discuss it enough, maybe I need to talk less about it, you holler at me and you let me know. So let me know what you think about this card deck. Let me know if you're as excited about the next card deck drop from Amanda Lovelace. And we'll talk again soon, everyone. Take care. Ciao. Bye. Hey there, my people. So, as I was wrapping up the tarot deck review, I was like, well, I brought up the coloring book. Might as well review the coloring book. Right? So, here we go. I showed it to you guys. Why tease you? So, here we go. Here we have the Cozy Witch Tarot coloring book. So, this is still Amanda Lovelace, artwork by Janaina Medeiros, and it's rendered by Marty Noble. All right. So, I know when I first brought it up in the tarot review, I wasn't sure if it had the same information, more information. I'm happy to say it has more information. So this can really go hand in hand. I know I've said before, like, I appreciate when an author really goes deep into why they chose the colors, the textures, the symbolism. She does that here in this coloring book, which is fantastic. So at first, she's welcoming you in and she's just explaining how she loves art, but coloring is so much fun, and it's so good not only for like your inner creativity, your inner child, but just, to relax. So she's welcoming you with that. Then there's kind of like a summary about tarot, kind of like, well, I don't know. You'll have to let me know. Is it still a thing? Are Cliff Notes and Spark Notes still a thing? Is there something else? Do we not use that anymore? But yeah, it's kind of like a Cliff Notes on tarot with the major arcana, the minor arcana. We see some of this in the guidebook for the tarot deck. Let me see. She mentions here how I found when I did the flip through, she made the decision to change some of the major arcana card names, and she includes them in the cards. She also includes it here in the coloring book. So yeah, she goes over some of the basics. Okay, and again, I like how she made some points bold, so it's kind of like a quick reference. So what I super love about this book is that she's going a little deeper into divination and some things that we look into. So one thing you look at in a card is color. Color is significant. So she breaks down some colors that she mentions. She's not saying that you have to use it, but it's just a quick reference of a color that might be significant to the card, right? So since this is a cozy witch, I thought I would include a list of colors with magical correspondences for each. You can use this as a completely optional coloring guide. And then she breaks down: red is passion, pink is self-love, orange creativity, on and on and on. So now we start off with the major arcana. What to expect. Love how she breaks it down. So the major arcana and the minor arcana are broken up a little different. You're going to get, yeah, let me just read it. You're going to get on each right hand page, you'll find the card illustration, which you can color in however you'd like using whichever coloring tools you'd prefer: crayons, markers, colored pencils, etc. So on the left hand page, you'll find some things I wrote to go along with the coloring experience. So you'll get a key phrase that we see in the cards, card description that we get, then a closer look at the details, extra tidbits, cozy pondering. Perfect. All to make the reading better with. So here you go. Here goes an example. Then I brought out, I want to take a look at my favorite card, is 16, the Tower. Okay, so just so you see them side by side. Then we have the get phrase, get ready, things are about to get shaken up. So that matches. Then the card description, does that match up? Let's see. No, I think there's some general terms that match up, but for the most part, it's not like they're just regurgitating what's in the guidebook, put it into a coloring book, took out the colors, and now are just pushing out this uh, tarot deck pretty much in just another form. No, they've expanded on it, which is beautiful. I love it. So this is like a companion to the tarot deck, in my opinion. So she gives you the card description. that seems different from here than from the guidebook of the tarot deck. Then there's a closer look. And then I like she gives background on why she chose this, which is always like the cherry on top for me. This card was inspired by two events that took place in my teens: when a beloved backyard tree cracked and fell down during a storm, and when there was a house fire in my childhood home. Though these experiences were both varying degrees of devastation, they ended up being extremely transformative for me. Love that. I think I read something into it intuitively, and here she gives the background on it. And yeah, we see her dolls here, and she talks about that, and then a cozy pondering. What would you say was your tower moment? In my opinion, a tower moment is a difficult and unexpected experience that changes everything, from the way you live your life to your perspective. I also think it is, also think of it as something that divides your life into before and after, which can happen several times during the course of your life. So true. So I won't get in and read both of them. You can do that on your own when you purchase them because it's so good. You have to. Then we get into the minor arcana. And yes, she explains the minor arcana in the guidebook also, but here she really even further breaks it down. She breaks it down into numerology, the elements. I don't think she got into numerology in this. Let me see. Numerology, the minor, major. Yeah, I don't remember her getting into numerology. So yeah, the suits. She did the suits. So now we have numerology, we have elements. Now she even breaks down the court cards and she gives you an example. She says for the minor arcana section, it's going to be much more focused on the act of coloring. Feel free to flip back to this spread to help you decipher the card meanings using the methods I've shown you. Before each suit, I will always remind you the suit's elemental association as well as its themes. And I'll also let you know the suit's color theme, unique to the Cozy Witch tarot deck, which you can follow as closely or as loosely as you wish. So, all right, at the beginning, we have the explanation of the suit. So, cups is element of water, symbol cups and other liquid vessels, which symbolize feelings, intuition, and relationships. Color theme, dusty rose. Okay. And then there's just pictures on each side as you go along. It's not uh, a full spread like the major arcana. Let me see what's the color theme: dark forest green for the pentacles, swords, dark gray blue, and let me guess, the wand suit is blood orange. Yes. All right, so that's that. And then she even gives you some pages to fill in notes, test some colors, and then we have about the author, the illustrator, and the person who did the rendering. Yes, I think that's the way you would say it. All right. What did she say at the back? I should have probably read that at the beginning, but whatever. Award winning poetess and best selling author Amanda Lovelace brings fan the warmest activity book a witch could ever ask for: the Cozy Witch Tarot Coloring Book. More than just a coloring book, Cozy Witch is complete with whimsical black and white tarot illustrations by artist Janaina Medeiros, rendered by Marty Noble, and accompanied by Lovelace's introduction, exploration of each card, and self reflection prompts, making it a gorgeous, one of a kind book designed to transport you to a faraway land of self care, inspiration, and a little bit of magic. Inspired by Amanda Lovelace's Cozy Witch Tarot deck and guidebook, the Cozy Witch Tarot Coloring Book encourages you to light a candle, sharpen your favorite coloring pencils, and settle down into the creative energy that lives inside us all. Awesome. Alrighty, folks. So that is the mini review for the Cozy Witch Tarot Coloring Book. Let me know what you think. Have you purchased it? Have you colored it? maybe on my Instagram, maybe tag me if you've colored the books. And yeah, if you've colored any pages, let me know if it made a difference in how you read the cards now, because there are things that you didn't pick up on at first that now you notice while you're coloring. All right, folks, I'm out of here. See you next time. Take care. Ciao. Bye.